Some of you may have seen my previous video on the free land in Ghana, and I spoke to a man named Kwame Nitoto about it. He is the administrator of the Asebu Pan African Village. I decided to take a trip to go and check out the land so I can show you exactly what it looks like before you make the decision if you want to get a piece of this land.
To put in reference to 5,000 acres begins here, and it just goes out like this. And everything on this side for like, I think it's about 10, 20 miles that way is our allocated land space. And it goes back that way, I guess about 2 or 3 miles this way. And so it's a very vast land space. As you can see, it's just raw land. It's virgin land. We just got it registered. We just got the first 100 plots, 100 acres plotted out that we're working with right now. That's what people are paying a $700 fee for. This where the work has already been done just to get the land divided up into plots. We had to survey it. We had to pillar it, demark it and get a site plan for it. And that's where it comes.
Where is that at? Is it already?
I'm going to show you right now. We're walking right down there. Walk right down there. Be careful because the dirt is loose, and you can't slip on the loose dirt.
So we are walking down to see the land that's here. That's part of the free land under the Asebu Land Project. So it's very raw land that has not had anything really done to it. So it really is fresh, working from scratch. Rainy season right now, so we've got a lot of mucky patches in the area. It's not developed at all. So you really essentially are purchasing land that will have to be developed. So you can't expect to purchase from here and it's already done and prepared for you. You get an opportunity to be at the grassroots level with your land. One of the things that you have to think about is think long term. In Ghana, I have family who purchased land 20, 30 years ago, and those areas are some of the most expensive places to buy land today. So thinking long term, you have to think about the fact that you can buy land here today and 10, 20, 30 years from now, it will be worth a lot more than the $700 that you would be paying to get access to something that is brand new.
That pillar there on the side, and it's all the way out this way. And so we've only just pillared the first 100 acres of the 5,000. Okay. So this is going to be, we anticipate a 50-year project. Well, I'll be dead and gone when this gets exhausted. So maybe you young people will still be around, but I will be gone, long gone. And someone else will be doing this. And so, let's walk around here. I'll show you where some people have already started working on their plot. You can forward to a site. If you have an email, I'll send you the site for you. Okay. So you can look and see where you want to be on the site plan. This is all our area. And one of the things we talked about was having a health center here, and that we want this to be 25% of this village to be local Ghanaian population. We didn't move to Africa to isolate ourselves from the local people. And so we want to make sure that people know that this is not just for people from the diaspora. Anybody can come to Asebu and get land here as long as they meet the criteria and willing to adhere to the simple guidelines that they've set for this land. And so the chief wants it to be legacy land, and you can will it. You have to get a 99-year lease on paper, but it's going to be basically freehold once you get it.
Freehold? I thought freehold was only supposed to be for family members and people a lineage of a chief or the community.
I know, that's true. Legally, technically, that's the case.
So how did it get to be freehold?
You're not going to get it registered as freehold. I said it's going to get to be that. Because once you get it, the chief is going to put in that situation where you never have to worry about anybody coming later on and trying to, like after 99 years, you're going to get an automatic renewal at no charge.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not going to say freehold on your indenture. It's going to say 99-year lease.
That's what I was wondering.
everything grows here. Everything grows. You got neem, you got moringa, you got palm. They've harvested palm wine here. All kinds of fruit trees, orange. You see people maize. You see the pillars here. This is like these are plots.
Okay.
Find plots here.
So once you get a plot, you should put one of these pillars here.
Pillars are already marked out. You're gonna have pillars already.
All the pillars will be marked up to show where your land starts. This is very important.
It's like somebody. I think you know Steve Coakley.
Yeah.
This is Steve's work, I think, over here.
Okay, so somebody's working on some land here already.
That's Steve Coakley, yeah. There's 2 or 3 people already out here getting it going.
Because they live here already.
They
so
live in Ghana.
it makes sense.
So for somebody who doesn't live here, if they send the money to put the $700 to get a piece of land, how do you figure out which area they get to select when they're not here?
We're doing it in phases. So everybody in phase 1 is going to be right in this area because we don't have a lot of access roads.
Right.
So we can't have people all over the place. It's just not possible to do
Right.
that. So what happens is when somebody puts their deposit in, then the chief will either they'll get a 100 by 100, they'll get an 80 by 80, they'll get an 80 by 100 plot. When they make that designation, then the chief will just pick out a plot that's in their and they'll assign that plot to them.
Okay.
So the chief assigns the plots to people. People don't pick their own plots unless you come and you have a chance to pick your own plots. You can. But if you're not here, then the chief will just assign you a plot because once you make your deposit, you have to get a plot assigned. So that makes you have something. You're going to get a receipt and you're going to get a land allocation document that identifies that plot that you're assigned to that says you own this plot of land and you have the freedom to do what you want to do on your plot of land. And you get that document in lieu of your indenture until your indenture comes, which will take you up to 90 days for your indenture. So when you make your deposit, you're going to get a receipt and you're going to get issued a land allocation document at that time. So you have something in your hand to say, this is my spot of land the chief has given me. And the only person that can give the land away is the chief. I want to be clear, I'm not giving out land, so don't tell anybody that Kwame's giving out land. Kwame's not giving out any land.
It's from the chief.
That's right. Only the chief can give out. I am an administrator and I am not giving away land. Only the chief is doing that. And I really need to say that because sometimes people get it twisted and they think I'm giving out land and the chief will be offended by that.
Is this maize that's growing?
This is maize. Somebody is growing maize and harvesting maize. To be honest with you, wasn't there the last time I came out, I think. So everything grows fast. The soil is very fertile.
You know that one?
There's a couple of little water bases here.
Okay.
Okay.
The industrial, commercial.
So we're going to make 4 different areas of the land use. Residential is the first one. Right now we're just working residential, but we do have a great demand for people who want to do agricultural. People can get land in the residential and land in the agricultural and land in the commercial. The most important thing is that you develop the land that you get. The chief is saying whatever you get of the land, that you develop that land. You don't just get land and just to have the land and hold the land. I got this land and you're not doing anything with it. So if you're going to ask for more land, the expectation is that you develop that land that you get. And you certainly can get more than one plot of land in different areas if you want. But it's going to be residential, agricultural, commercial, and industrial use lands.
I have a question. So this is raw land and it's very beautiful out here. What are the plans to develop it in terms of like water, infrastructure? How is the plan for that? Because everyone has their own individual plot, but something like piping and sewage, that has to be a collective thing for the community. So what is the plan for that?
The plan that we came up with, we had a big debate about the plumbing system and the sewer system. Nobody wants open sewers. The collective consensus was biofuel. That we'll create a biofuel system in this area, that all the houses will have biofuel plumbing systems. And we have electricity going along the main road. You can see the poles there. So it's easy to tap into electricity. We're going to get the water is easy to tap into as well. So we're going to have 2 systems. We want to make sure that people take advantage of solar. We have great sun here, so we're encouraging people to utilize solar. We're going to do boreholes, and we're going to do water supplies that are off-grid as well. But people are going to have the freedom to really do their own thing. But the plumbing system at this point is going to be biofuel systems for the homes. That's what we talked about in our last meeting.
And then the roads and access, since that's a community thing, like for instance, this is a person's area here, and say he's the first person to build over here. Is he technically responsible for building the access road, or what is a collective thing to get stuff like that built?
what we're doing is we have a phase one. And all the people that are in phase one, that's going to be consist of 20 people, I think. And we're working with that group of people on how we want to create that infrastructure, because the chief has given us the land. He's not going to be responsible for developing and doing and absorbing all the costs to build roads.
Correct.
We have to do that ourselves. So what we're doing is basically developing almost like a HOA, where people, everybody that has a stake here has a say-so in how we're going to do this and has the responsibility to contribute to that, because we're going to have to build this land ourselves. Okay, the chief has been really nice to us and got us and demarked the first 100 acres. He plotted and pillared the first 100 acres for us out of his pocket because we had to get started. So right now, all I can say is thank you, Nana, for doing that, because that was big. But at this point, moving forward, we have to take responsibility, and we are relying on the people who are showing up, saying I want to be here, to make collective decisions. It's not about me deciding everything. It's like everybody that gets on board, puts their deposit in, and gets their land allocation document, is a stakeholder. And we'll say, listen, what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about that? Let's make a collective decision, but we got to do something, because we all got to pay for the roads, because everybody's going to benefit from the road. We're talking about putting that bridge out there, because that little water river, gets higher and it gets lower, but there's always a little bit of water there. And if you want to develop this, you got to get a truck through there. So we're going to have to deal with that. And so these are real questions. And the truth is that we have to collectively decide it. And
So a reminder as to what the $700 covers when they buy the land, or when they get the free land, what's the $700 cover?
And what we want to do is make sure we can emphasize free land. The land is free. The development of the land has a cost. The chief has given us 5,000 acres of land. That's all he's given us is the land. And so in order to move the land forward, in order to even give the land away, we have to prepare the land. And so that shouldn't be a cost that the chief has to absorb. So what we had to do is we had to first register the land with the district, saying this is the land that's allocated for Asebu Pan African Village. Okay, then we had to have a surveyor come out here and survey the land and put pillars out and plot out just the first 100 acres.
Okay.
So he surveyed and pillared the first 100 acres, and then we had to get a site plan developed that would demark the 240 plots that we got in that acreage. Okay, so we demarked those 240 plots, and then we took the cost of that, the total cost of that, and we divided it by 240. It came up to 684, something like that. And we rounded up to $700. So the $700 is like an admin fee that you're paying for work that's already been done, and we're reimbursing the chief for money that he came out of his pocket out of his kindness, because we didn't have it.
Okay, and that also covers the indenture.
That also covers the indenture. You pay, you get your indenture in that.
Okay.
So it's you can't beat it. If you ask me,
Okay.
if you ask anybody else, whoever buys the land, you got to
right.
do all that stuff anyway.
Okay,
If you
great.
buy land, that's a cost that comes with it. So the land is free. The cost to prepare your land and develop your land is something that we have to put out of our pockets for, and that's what $700 covers. He puts this wall up, then a truck that usually comes down this road is not going to get through. You got to negotiate that.
Someone has started building a structure here, and they put a wall around it. It's usually advised to put a wall around your land when you get land in Ghana to prevent people from encroaching on it and make sure that your land area is demarcated so that you have your space to start building. So if you get land, it's a good idea to have that done if you're able to. So I want to thank you today for giving a few moments of your time to show the land to my audience, and they can get in touch with you for more information on how you can get some of this land here in the central region of Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Avi, for your time and for bringing our wonderful guests out. This is a very important project. I just want to say thank you again to Nana Opatechi, Amenfu the 7th, for allowing us this wonderful opportunity in Ghana.
So I hope this video has been helpful for some of you who may have been thinking about getting land here after seeing the video that I did with Kwame about the free land here in the central region of Ghana. As you can see behind me, all of this is just fresh green land ready to be built and developed on. It's $700 US for you to get access As far as what he explained in the video, what the $700 covers, the land itself is not at a cost. So I hope that this has been helpful. I will put his email in the description box, as well as the website for the Asebu land, so that you have information on how to get in touch with him with more details on this project if you want to get your piece of this land too. So thank you so much for watching another episode of Your Guide on Ghana. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss future videos on my channel. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day.
We keep it coming. Yeah, we keep it coming to the spiral. Oh yeah, we keep it coming. Yeah, we keep it coming to the spiral. And I know I'm gonna keep it 100. Keep it 100. So grateful for the life I live. Grateful for the fishes I see. So grateful for the love I'm receiving. Love are the only thing, only for man I prefer.